Okay. Am I coming through loud and clear?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The first step, there's lots of schools of thought on how to make walking sticks. There's a lot of these how-to books on the market, and here's one right here. Here's another one that I've come across called Carving Faces, and they're all have got great information in them and little bits of graphics that you can incorporate into your designs. All artists are famous for grabbing this and that from other pieces of work and incorporating it into their work, or being inspired by it and come up with something totally different. But step one in making a good walking stick. Now again, there's lots of how-to books on making walking sticks, but this is how I do it. This is how I approach it. And it works well. It works well for me, and it works well in terms of production. It goes fast. Once you gather up your prospective pieces of wood, a lot of times the wood will tell you where to place the face and figure, or what you're going to do with it. There's all kinds of pieces that you'll find that are interesting to work with, and they'll inspire you what to do. And this is just a basic way to make a face or a figure, anything you want to carve into the wood. Everything's all free game in the world of art. And step one is, after you get the wood prepared, this one has been already sanded down. You can see it's smooth on the outside, and this is a nice piece of sassafras. This is a nice carving wood, as you well know, and it holds a cut real well, and it's pretty when it's finished. It has that nice red gleam to it. You can use a lot of tools to clear off a spot that you want to carve. This is a draw knife. It's been called other things over years. Back in the days of the pioneers and stuff, they called this a spoke knife. They would make the spokes for the old wooden wheels with this. It's a good tool. You get to use it, and you can pick a spot. I like to get near the top. Don't make little tiny faces. Don't make tiny figures. This is what I've found a successful thing to do, is don't go small. Just like you learn in art class, when you make a drawing, fill that page, fill the canvas. Don't go little. Same thing with this. Take a little bit at a time. You can also use these Fordham tools, these rotary grinders that can grind it off. They're actually a little faster than this, but I'm showing you the old-fashioned way to start with. And you should try to get it down to the bare wood, get the bark off. Not all of it. And I'll tell you why, is that it's fun to work your designs up into the wood, kind of blend it into the bark, the undisturbed bark. Gives a nice contrast to the design. Well, I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. Let's go over to a piece of wood that has been more worked, or is more finished, cleared. Here's where you're going to try and get down to, is to the bare wood. Now, you may or may not have seen this in some of these how-to books, but it is critical. It helps a nice starting point on your carving. And to take a pencil or here's a Sharpie, and kind of figure out in advance where you're going to place your starting point. Now you just draw a straight line once you figure out where you're going to go. Just take it right down the middle of the wood. It's an imaginary line. Now you're making a real line where you're going to place that carving. This is critical for the eyes. Take a straight line across where you want those eyes. It seems like a minute thing to do, maybe even a little silly, but it keeps those eyes even across. You can put other expressions in eyes once your skill level gets up, where you can angle them up, where a guy's squinting or something like that. Right. But this is a good way to start. And then you want to come down where you want the bottom of your nose to be. And let's say it's right there. I always go like that, where I'm going to kind of put my nostrils on the nose. And this is where the next step is where you can start getting creative. What kind of design you're going to make for the beard section and the lips. And come down again right through the middle. Let's say we're going to go like this. Keep everything symmetrical. Like that. And we'll come up here and see, we're just going to do just a simple, very crude line drawing for this, just to get started. And you're going to come up with things that you're going to carve into it as you go. Other details, oh, I like this, or I like to do that, and do it. But this will give you a good starting point. And maybe we're going to come way down here with a tail of his beard, way down here in the bottom, like that. And then let's just make a real simple top of his head right here. And we'll come down with this hair along the sides. We'll flow that down along the sides of his beard even. And then, once you got that, and if there's any other things you want to incorporate in on it, kind of sketch it in. Those, I like to include braiding sometimes. Up to you. Okay. Let your creativity flow. How you want to add little additions to it. No, I'm not going to do it on this because you already know how to do it. But I always start with the eyes. Right. I'll make a indentation for the eyes and kind of. Let's just stop right now. I think I'll do that, and we'll show